What's up guys, how are beautiful people doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dan. Today I'm going to talk about dermastamping. I've done 10 sessions of dermastamping so far. I want to share my results, my thoughts. Before I start, consider following me on Instagram, subscribe to this channel for more skincare content, check out my Patreon in case you want to help support the channel, ring that bell so you get notified every time I post something, check out my TikTok, and that's pretty much it. Dermastamping is a type of microneedling. It's very similar to derma rolling, but instead of a roller, you have kind of like a stamp that introduces tiny needles in your face to create damage, which we need to boost collagen production. It's very similar to derma rolling, but I think it's better than derma rolling because you don't drag on your skin with a roller, you don't create this unnecessary damage. So you have a little bit less downtime with dermastamping, pretty much the same results. I just think overall it's a better option. I've tried microneedling in the past also, and I've tried dermastamping, so I think dermastamping is a little bit better in my opinion. I did dermastamping mainly for my acne scars. I've been dealing with acne for more than 15 years of my life, and I've been left with a lot of scarring. So I decided to do that in order to improve my acne scars. But of course, some people use it for wrinkle reduction because of the collagen boosting effects of dermastamping. You are gonna notice some wrinkle reduction. For me, it's kind of like a nice side effect, let's just say. Speaking of acne scars, I have to address this once and for all. I've received a lot of DMs, like hundreds of DMs at this point on my Instagram. People asking what product should they use for their acne scars? What skincare product is gonna improve their acne scars? No, at this point in time, we don't have absolutely any skincare product or ingredient that's actually gonna improve your acne scars. And if somebody tells you that, they're probably lying or trying to sell you something, or most probably both. But the only topical that could very slightly improve your acne scars is tretinoin, but I don't think it's gonna be anything noticeable. It's just the way our skin works, and I wish it was that easy, but it's just not. You need professional procedures. You have to go to speak to a dermatologist or like a professional in this field. They're gonna suggest the best treatments for your specific acne scars because there are different types. The best treatments we have at the moment and the most well-known are CO2 laser, dermastamping or microneedling, generally speaking, very strong chemical peels, TCA, maybe like 70% glycolic acid peels. For very big scars, subcision. Also for ice pick scars, the best option is probably TCA cross. Yeah, you have to speak to a professional, but no topical skincare ingredient product, nothing's gonna help with your acne scars. And we're talking about the actual acne scars, like the actual tiny holes in your skin, if I have to talk in like non-professional terms. Because some people are calling post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation acne scars. Those are like the dark spots that a breakout leaves after it heals, or post-inflammatory erythema, which is the red spots for people with like lighter skin tones. Now, before I get into my results and my experience, I gotta say, if you struggle with very severe acne, please, I strongly suggest you to go to a dermatologist. You have to prevent these scars from forming. It is just so much easier to prevent them than to treat them. Like, I've done 10 sessions of dermastamping and they're still not completely gone. It takes years and years, and I'm not even sure if they're ever gonna go away, but you have to go to a dermatologist and heal your acne, prevent the scars as much as possible. You have to go to a professional because when it comes to acne, there's just so much skincare can do. It's like, it might treat a mild to maybe moderate cases of acne, but for severe cases, it's not gonna do much. Unfortunately, you have to speak to a professional. You probably even consider low-dose Accutane. I'm not like a huge fan of the standard version, let's say, of Accutane. Low-dose Accutane, it is where you take like a very small dose of Accutane, but you do it for years, actually. But this way you get the benefits of Accutane and you avoid any side effects, any dryness, or maybe potential liver problems, anything like that. Yeah, definitely try your best to actually speak to a professional, to a dermatologist. If you have a severe case of acne, try to prevent the scars as much as possible, because once you have them, it is extremely almost impossible to get rid of them. Back to dermastamping. Now I've done 10 dermastamping sessions so far, and I was doing it once a month, and during all this time I kept on using my tretinoin. We have some data showing that tretinoin can slightly boost the benefits of dermastamping or microneedling, boost those collagen production benefits, just yield you some slightly better results. So I never stopped using my tretinoin. I know some people are recommending that. It's kind of a mixed bag. I never did. It usually takes my skin about a week to go completely back to normal. For around 2 days after the session, I try not to go outside at all. I try to stay inside all day long, curtains closed. You have to avoid sun exposure as much as possible. If you completely have to go, use a very strong sunscreen. I had situations when I had an emergency, I had to go out. I would also use a foundation or concealer to conceal the redness and everything. It is okay to do that. I mean, after 20 minutes after the session, the channels that the needles produced, they are closed. So I think you can already, the next day you definitely can apply makeup. Or I'm not a professional when it comes to this, by the way. I'm just sharing my experience. So don't take my advice too seriously. Now when it comes to needle length, because I was using an adjustable dermastamping device, I would use different lengths of needles when it comes to different areas of my face. Smaller on the forehead area. It depends on which area, how much scarring I have there, how deep the scars are. I would go usually from 1.5 to 2.5, which is a lot. And speaking of that, I have to strongly advise you not to do this dermastamping thing at home, in a home environment. There's a pretty high risk of infection. Nobody wants that. I did a lot of research when it comes to this. I did some courses, so I don't consider myself a professional, but I do not recommend doing this at home, basically. You might get some post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation after that. It's just leave it to the professional when it comes to dermastamping or microneedling in general. Now, the moment you are all waiting for, the results. 10 sessions of dermastamping later. I'm gonna put some videos so you guys can see the difference. I don't think it's gonna be the same lighting conditions. I switched apartments during this time. This whole thing took more than a year. This whole experiment, let's just say. There's definitely an improvement in my acne scars. I see it in my day-to-day life. When I look in the mirror, my skin looks smoother. But I have to say, the improvement is not as big as I thought it was gonna be. Because, I mean, 10 sessions, it's a pretty big number. In some lighting conditions, in very specific lighting conditions, let's just say, I can still see my acne scars. Yeah, the improvement is there, but it's not as big as I thought it's gonna be. I would say in percentages, I don't know, maybe 50-60%. It depends on the scars though, because some of them are completely flattened. I don't see them anymore. Definitely the number of acne scars is less. It's lower, actually. Sorry for my English. But some of them are still there, especially the deeper ones. They do have an improvement, but you can still see them, especially in like I said, it's in very specific light conditions. You can still see them, but in normal light conditions, they're almost invisible. My skin looks pretty smooth. I don't think people are gonna notice. I don't think people are gonna look for acne. It's more of a me thing. I know they're there, so I would check for them. And also, I forgot to mention, I didn't have the worst case of acne scars. I've seen people who are struggling with much deeper, larger acne scars. Mine were there, but they're not the worst case I've ever seen. But yeah, even after 10 sessions, some of the scars are still there, which leads me back to the conversation that I had in the beginning of the video. You have to prevent these scars as much as possible. It takes a huge amount of work, time, and money to improve them. Like I said, I'm not even sure I'll ever be able to, I'm not sure I will ever be able to completely get rid of them, which, I mean, it's not really necessary, but yeah. I am planning, hopefully, to do a CO2 laser session, maybe this year, maybe next year. That's pretty costly. Based on what I've seen online, I think that would bring better results compared to dermastamping. In the past, I was considering TCA cross, but I gave up on that idea because I think it's a specific procedure is very good for people dealing with ice pick scars, and I don't really have any of those. And yeah, these are my results. Overall, my biggest lesson from this entire thing is to inform people that prevention is key, and you have to be patient with yourself. You have to be, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of energy, time. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have to get rid of your acne scars. It's not mandatory. It's a personal preference. Some people maybe embrace them. To them, it's more of like a testimony of the battle they've been through with acne. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a personal thing. Very, very few people in this world have perfect skin, and probably nobody has perfect skin all the freaking time. Well, maybe there are like just a couple of exceptions in this world, but it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you find it helpful. If you did so, definitely give it a thumbs up. It's been a long time coming. Yeah, like I said, leave questions in the comments below. I'll try my best to reply to all of them. I love you all, guys. See you on my next video. Bye.